Big update on Ilia Topuria's next fight and the entire lightweight title picture. Islam Makhachev and Justin Gaethje's manager, Ali Abdelaziz, appeared on Submission Radio and gave one of the most revealing interviews we've heard in weeks. For a while, all signs pointed to Justin getting the title shot against El Matador, but then things started shifting toward Paddy Pimblett, and now Ali seems fed up with how things are being handled. He doubled down hard, saying that Justin will absolutely retire if the UFC doesn't give him the next title fight. Ali didn't stop there. He went on to drop a few bombshells about the title picture, which we'll get into soon. He spoke about Arman Tsarukyan's upcoming fight with Dan Hooker, saying Arman is on a completely different level and will beat the life out of him. And then came another surprising reveal. Magomed Ankalaev reportedly didn't spar for 40 days ahead of his rematch with Alex Pereira at UFC 320 because of a rib injury. Most fans didn't take the news seriously since Pereira himself was injured before their first fight. Anyways, let's dive into what Ali had to say.
But I'm telling you this, Justin Gaethje never break his word. If he get jumped by Paddy, he will retire and he will never fight again in AFC. UFC is a business. Listen, Paddy Pimblett, his last 3 opponents is 0-13. You know what I'm saying? How he be ahead in the ranking, Justin Gaethje ahead of him? I don't think anybody got proposed to do anything. Listen, the only guy, if you get a title shot over Justin Gaethje, is Arman. I will not say anything. But if anyone else get a title shot over Justin Gaethje, it will be unfair. Ilia just... You can't just beat Charles Oliveira one fight and be like, oh, I'm going to go for the welterweight title. But Islam don't care. Islam won't fight anybody. Islam do not give a shit.
Dan Hooker fighting Arman.
I think Arman is going to beat the shit out of Dan Hooker. My opinion. I don't have nothing against the guy, but I just...
Paddy Pimblett just went off on Ilia Topuria, flat out warning he'll smash his face in and insisting he can beat Ilia anywhere it goes, saying everyone has been putting El Matador on a pedestal and he's ready to bring the whole thing crashing down. Even Max Holloway chimed in, telling everyone not to sleep on Paddy, reminding fans that experience matters, but you can never count someone out because this sport eats expectations for breakfast. On the other side of the noise, Demetrius Johnson absolutely exploded at the UFC for skipping Arman Tsarukyan for a title shot, calling the whole thing reality TV level nonsense and pointing out that Arman is the clear #1 contender. Tsarukyan and Hooker will throw down at UFC Qatar later this month, while Topuria is helping his brother Alexandre prepare for his upcoming fight against Belzat Al-Makan at UFC Qatar. Even though some sources claim El Matador is aiming for a January comeback, it seems unlikely since the Topuria brothers are focused on each other's fights and rarely run their own training camps at the same time. In a recent appearance, Ilia's most recent opponent, Charles Oliveira, admitted it wasn't smart to stand in boxing range with Topuria. Let's dive in.
Não, aquela cotovelada que você doiria também não cair, né?
Mas porque eu fui burro. O cara é mais curto do que eu, boxe sério. O que eu tinha que fazer? Mais na longa, chutava igual eu fiz com essa, fazendo ele vir, matando, e aí eu desce o tiro. O que eu falei? Vou botar pra baixo e vou botar a mão. Eu botei a mão, só que ele botou a mão primeiro em mim. Então eu fui burro. Acontece, faz parte da luta. O que vai fazer? A tua mente. Tu voltar de novo. Foi o que aconteceu, voltamos mais forte.
Huge news just dropped about Khamzat Chimaev's next fight. In Usha Taika's recent coverage of the ACA event, Khamzat was in attendance supporting his teammates, Guram Kutataladze, who made a successful post-UFC return with an impressive TKO win, and Abdul Rahman Dudayev, whose fight ended in a controversial split decision win. Cameras caught Khamzat looking visibly frustrated when the scorecards were announced, clearly unhappy with the result. After the event, Usha Taika reporters tried to get a quick interview with Khamzat, but he refused, continuing his stance against the outlet, which we covered in one of our recent videos. Instead, they spoke to Khamzat's longtime friend Aslanbek Badayev, who ended up revealing some key details about what's next for the champ. Before we roll the clip, here's some context. Ramadan begins in February and ends in March, and according to Aslanbek, Khamzat was aiming to fight before it, wanting to avoid a long layoff after his August bout with Duplessis. However, he was forced to change those plans. Let's roll the clip.
С Khamzatом здесь о чем-то пообщаться удалось, ну так, по планам, по еще чему-то.
Удалось пообщаться, он будет после Рамадана биться. Он был готов биться и до Рамадана, но там, как я понял, обстоятельства сложились, и его поставили перед фактом, что он будет биться после Рамадана. Возможно, мы увидим его на турнире в Белом доме. Это будет исторический момент, и это, наверное, то, что войдет в историю и уже не повторится, возможно, да? И, конечно, это тот карт, куда каждый, наверное, боец хочет попасть. Если Khamzat там подерется, это будет очень круто. Я очень надеюсь, что так будет.
Josh Thomson recently broke down the eye poke rule changes following the UFC 321 chaos, and he gave a really clear picture of what's coming. He explained that the commissions are trying to make things fair for everyone. At first, it's going to feel strict, but the system will settle. Here's how it will work. You get a warning as soon as the refs see your hand open. Then, if you commit an eye poke after that warning, you get an automatic point deduction. Another eye poke, another point. No exceptions. Thomson emphasized that the UFC and the commissions want to see a change, but also know that fighters need time to adjust. In the early stages, keeping hands closed all the time might affect striking and parrying, so they're aware this could temporarily impact fights. But overall, the hope is that fighters quickly adapt and the effect is short-lived. Josh says that nearly 95 to 98% of all eye pokes come from just 1 or 2% of fighters. So basically, the same handful of people are causing almost every problem in the cage. According to multiple pundits, a glove redesign isn't being considered. Instead, the rule set is expected to be adjusted. Eye pokes have been a problem for years, but now that a high-profile heavyweight title fight was affected, officials are looking to take action.
The adjustment should just be simply put, as soon as the ref sees that your hands are open, they give you the hard warning. Hey, watch your hands. Once the hard warning is given, I don't understand why it's a hard warning. It is what it is. Once the hard warning is given, if you poke someone in the eye, it's a point. And you essentially take it out of the fighter's hands, or the judges, the ref's hands, and say, hey, no matter what, it's a point. As soon as you say no, as soon as you give them a hard warning of, hey, your hands are open, wash your hands, watch your hands. And after that, if the eye poke happens, it will be an automatic point. Because we've always wondered, why have we not done that before? Why have we always been like, okay, look, it was an eye poke, but it wasn't intentional. And I'll have to agree, there's been some media that has talked about, like, what's the difference between intentional and unintentional? There is no difference. A foul is a foul, correct? I mean, the major thing is less warnings across the board. That's huge. That's huge. What good are the rules if we don't implement them?
What do you think, MMA fans? How should the rules be changed to prevent eye pokes? Share your thoughts in the comments below. That's it from MMA Psycho. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for daily MMA news.